thick, and I'm excited to do little things in life. Like, I appreciate every little thing. That makes me happy, but happiness kind of is the open door to everything. Like, you could do anything. You could be creative, you could be savage, you could be antisocial. You could just be whatever you want. As long as you're comfortable, you're happy being exactly in that space.
Remember when I was growing up, I watched Little House on the Prairie. And every single time Michael Landon said something to Half Pint, I'd start crying. And then I watched James at 15. And James at 15 for me, it only lasted like a couple of years. It was James at 15 and James at 16. I don't think he ever made it to 17. But that show to me was a very emotional coming of age story. And that was sort of a lot of my inspiration for Dawson's Creek, believe it or not.
In the late 90s, the WB greenlit Dawson's Creek, a coming-of-age teen drama from creator Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, I really think it fits right in line with the whole tone of the piece, don't you think?
You're right, Dawson. It's perfect.
James Vanderbeek and Katie Holmes signed on to play best friends Dawson Leary and Joey Potter.
Listen, it is a fact that a large percentage of older women are attracted to young boys on the verge of manhood, okay? Keeps them feeling young. I read that in Cosmopolitan.
What are you doing reading Cosmopolitan?
Listen, I have 3 menstrually diverse sisters, okay? Cosmo is my savior.
The role of Dawson's other best friend, Pacey Witter, went to Joshua Jackson. The 20-year-old actor was most recognizable from his work in the Mighty Ducks franchise.
Charlie! What the hell is the matter with you?
Can't make me cheat.
I met Josh Jackson, who my only knowledge of him was Mighty Ducks. And so he walked into the room and he owned it. He was just such a star. He was such a good actor. I was like, how can this kid be this age and be so charismatic and so charming, and then be a good actor on top of it?
Hey! Emilio Estevez, he was in those Duck movies, remember? God, those were classics. So funny.
He's the jokester, the class clown, and of course a lot of it came from the insecurities. You know, he himself didn't have that perfect family. He wasn't close with his brother. He certainly wasn't close with his dad. And so you kind of never really see him having this home family life, and really that's why Dawson and Joey were his family.
Nah, you ain't hallucinating. Pacey's got the Jeep. Can I hear you say yeah? Can I hear you say oh yeah?
That was the beginning of my believing that I was allowed to do this job that I'm still doing 20 years later. It just shifted my perspective on what, you know, if I was allowed to be an actor, if I was allowed to dream inside of telling stories, and if I hadn't have done that at that very moment in my life, I don't know that I would have stuck it out, that I would have had the strength to get through those years, and the, you know, the awkwardness and the pimples and the like gangliness. And if it hadn't have been for this like very specific thing, I don't think I'm sitting, I mean, I'm obviously not sitting on this couch 20 years, but I don't think I'm getting the opportunity that I'm just about to go and do and play on Broadway. Like, I don't think I would have had the strength to persevere through had it not been for it. So that I'm always thankful for.
Hi. I was hoping we'd have a class together. Here we are.
Michelle Williams was cast as the new kid in town, Jen Lindley. Today, Williams is a 4-time Oscar nominee for Brokeback Mountain, Blue Valentine, My Week with Marilyn, and Manchester by the Sea.
My heart was broken. And I know yours is broken too.
But back then, the 18-year-old actress had only landed a handful of TV gigs, including Home Improvement, Step by Step, and Baywatch.
Listen, I'm having a party Friday night. You want to come? Yeah, sure. Great. Bring sand in your shoes. We'll make it a beach party.
When you first look at her at that age, she came across as an angel. And when she sat down in her audition, she was this broken bird, this broken... all I knew was there was something inside of her that was broken and desperately needed to be fixed. And that was the heart of Jen Lindley. She came from New York broken, and she needed to be fixed. And it took, you know, and it took all her friendships in the creek, it took her grandmother, it took a lot of love. And ultimately, that was her journey. And when she walked in the door, I said, wow, wow, wow.
Jen shows up in Cape Side in the most spectacular way possible. She gets out of a cab in this little flowered dress, and the sunlight's hitting her, and it's Michelle Williams, totally gorgeous.
Oh, well, my mouth drops.
She sort of saunters out of the cab and walks over, and the wind is blowing, and her blonde hair is blowing in the wind, and Dawson and Pacey are both immediately like, who is this?
It was really nice to meet you guys, and I'll see you in school.
If not sooner, yeah.
She claims she's there to help take care of her ailing grandfather. However, we soon learned that she was a little bit of a party girl in New York, and she was sent to live with her grandparents to clean up her act.
I was a baby. Yeah, I was just, I don't know, I was just growing up. I mean, having a job. What did I love? I love how attached people feel to it now. They're like kind of like overwhelming response that people still have to it, and how much they identify with it, and how much it was like a part of their life when they were growing up, because that stuff that sort of gets in there during those like really formative teen years, it kind of stays there. And so I find it really heartwarming and really sweet when people talk about what it meant to them.
Everything about you is awesome. I wanted you to know that.
Good to know.
You know who was also a contender for Jen Lindley? Katie Heigl. Because Steve Miner, who directed the pilot, and had brought her in, and I think she had just looked slightly older, I think, at that time or something. Even though she was younger, I just think she was more mature. I don't know if she fit. I forget what, but she gave a great audition. I remember we were all sort of like, wow, she's good.
God, Mom! Oh, hi, son.
The role of Dawson's dad, Mitch Leary, went to 43-year-old John Wesley Shipp.
When we first meet Mitch Leary, he is this insanely hot dad who has this incredible romantic sexual chemistry with his wife.
Your mother and I were...
just discussing whether or not...
we needed a new coffee table. Hi, Pacey.
I'm Mr. Leary. Mrs. Leary.
Hi, Pacey.
Dawson's newscaster mom, Gail, was played by 44-year-old Mary Margaret Humes.
Oh, don't look so red, Dawson. It could be worse.
And she and her husband Mitch are very much in love. Dawson walks in on them making out one day, and it's very awkward for everyone.
Mr. Manmeat, I'll see you later.
Mom. But Dawson starts to wonder whether or not Gail is possibly having an affair with her co-anchor.
Back to you, Bob.
Do you think her mom's sleeping with her co-anchor?
Where'd that come from?
That is an ongoing storyline that develops over the season.
The breakfast is ready.
I'm glad I'm here, Grams.
Rounding out the cast was Mary Beth Peel as Jen's grandmother, known affectionately as Grams. The 58-year-old actress was a former opera singer turned Broadway star with a Tony nomination for her performance in The King and I.
She is very religious and very sort of straight-laced, and she doesn't like Joey or Dawson.
That girl from down the creek has been crawling in the bedroom window of that boy from next door for the past 10 years. I believe they're what you call the wrong element.
She doesn't think they're the right kind of people, and she very much wants Jen to come to church with her.
Look, I know what happened in New York. Church will do you good.
Which is something that Jen chafes at because she doesn't believe in God.
I'll tell you what, Grams. I'll go to church when you say the word penis.
You stop that talk.
She was pretty heavy-handed at the beginning. What I loved is that Kevin and the subsequent writers gave her these little gems of giving permission to everyone to be part of this human mix.
If Jack is gay, he does not need your judgment, young man. The Lord above will be the one to judge him, as he will all of us. What he needs from you, from me, from everyone else in this world is love and tolerance.
And it was wonderful for me as a person, and people still say, oh, I remember when you said this, or I remember when you said that, because it struck something, just a single line.
This is the WB Television Network.
On January 20th, 1998, Dawson's Creek premiered on the WB to the opening bars of pop star Paula Cole's hit single, I Don't Want to Wait.
The theme song just blew up. It was playing on the radio. Fans just loved the Paula Cole song. And to this day, when you hear it in the coffee shop or on a radio station, the first thing you think of is Dawson's Creek.
Here's a fun fact. I don't know the words. I've never known the words. All I know is do, 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 do. You know what? When you go to New York and when you go and interview those actors, make them tell you the lyrics to that song. Do it and get them on film and see if they know the lyrics. I'm telling you. All I know is I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Da 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 da. You know, I don't know the verses at all.
All the lyrics. Who would know all the lyrics?
Right? I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
I think it's just that over and over.
For our lives to be over, I want to know right now, what will it be?
Yes.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now. Wait, will it be yes or will it be sorry? That's it. Will it be almost? Will it be?
I think Kevin meant the verses.
It's weirdly, it's like about World War II.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it is.
That song
it's like,
is about
she
World War
came home,
II? It's
he
about a
came
mother
home from
waiting.
War and there was a baby waiting for
Yeah.
him. That's like essentially the
Yeah.
lyrics. You can look it up. You guys look it up.
There's something about when the phone would ring and
Yes.
the heartbeat, like
No,
yeah.
it's
'cause
like
she
about a
thought it was-
soldier returning from war.
with
so
two
it was
babies.
really just the chorus.
She's
Yeah,
two babies at home and she's waiting to hear if her husband's gonna make it home from war.
Although, when you hear it on the radio, do you guys all get warm fuzzies? Because I do.
I love that you get warm fuzzies so much, Meredith.
I do. When I hear it, I actually go,
It was pandemonium. Like 5 times as many people that thought were going to show up showed up. We ran out of headshots. Girls were getting pressed against barricades. They had to take me out and put me in a police car to get me out of there. Yes.
When I realized that being an actor was a thing, a job, a craft, a pursuit you could have, I didn't think there was anything that could possibly be more fun. I'm not in this for power, although I have some. It's just the greatest and most exciting